Hello and welcome to game 3 of the Leprechaun cage match. Looking at the board, my initial thoughts were to go after Peasant, of course, but what piles would you want to put things on? Well, it looked like a menagerie deck to me, honestly. Without the tokens, it looks like a menagerie deck to me. You want to trash, and I was looking at Bat for trashing, but there's also remodel and develop, which you could actually open with those. You can't really open with a Bat. So that crossed my mind. Pouch actually came into play here because it gives me 4 and 2 buys on the opening. So what I eventually decided to do, instead of going after one of the two trashers there, develop and remodel, was to go for double peasant and a silver. My opponent does the exact same thing, fishing for a vampire. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know they live in water, but you can fish for a vampire here. Unfortunately, my peasants collide, but that's okay. At least they don't miss the shuffle, and I get to play one of them. My opponent picks up a Chariot Race. So I mentioned that Menagerie was the focus in my mind initially, but looking at it now, a little bit as the turns went on, is what I mean. It seems like I'll be better off, perhaps, putting my plus card token down on Chariot Race for draw instead of the Menagerie thing. Seems like Vampire, well, Bat actually will take a long time to trash cards and make Menagerie reliable. And I didn't want to put any of the remodels or the develops into the deck yet, just because I have a few terminals, namely Peasant and Soldier. Namely Peasant and Soldier. So I am just gonna hit the Chariot Race pile as hard as I possibly could. My opponent gets 5 here, which is very good for them. Vampire comes out immediately, as it should be. I'm hoping to get to 5 here, but not only do I not get to 5 here, but my Soldier also misses the shuffle. So this is very bad news for me here. My opponent seems to be doing okay on the peasant conversion line. The peasant line conversion. Those are the words that I should say. He even gets up to 6 here and 2 buys, which is immense. I thought this would be another vampire, but he goes for a couple chariot races, which I suppose is also fine. But I'd have preferred a second vampire, honestly. Like, I don't need to, knock the chariot races that hard. I just want it because I feel like that would be the best place to put my token. But, the menagerie pile is fine as well, and Bat trashes for you much more quickly. None of us have any trash as well. Now my opponent has a Bat, but that'll still take some time to get the deck prepared for Menagerie well enough. Anyways, I am finally able to find enough money for a Vampire here. My opponent plays his from the last shuffle, so you see I'm already way behind in terms of that. And he picks up the last Chariot Race here. Well, now that the Chariot Race is out, I suppose the next pile to target would be the Menagerie pile. It may trigger, but instead I decide to go for a remodel here. I don't have a terminal anymore, I don't think, and even so, like, the deck is massive now. It should be fine. The 2 terminals, which might be the peasant that I haven't yet upgraded into soldier or anything. So 5 and 3 buys for my opponent. He has his candlestick maker. I was happy to see him buy the candlestick maker because it doesn't draw. But I mean, it's fine. It's whatever. It's 2 points, right? Museum is on the board. You have to keep that in mind. It means your first duchy is 5 points, your first province is 8 points, and all subsequent ones are 3 and 6 points. May come into play later on in the game. So that candlestick maker is worth 2 points. He's also giving him a few coin tokens, which he uses here, I believe. Yeah, to go for double for 6. Pick up double menagerie, which is not crazy at all. Looky here, menagerie would have been brilliant. Brilliant. So here, do I get rid of the remodel or the peasant? I decided to get rid of the peasant in the end because I felt like I needed to start trashing to get some kind of advantage here. I have no advantage, honestly. My opponent probably has as many chariot races as I do, and they have more menageries than I do. They are further along the peasant line than I am, and the vampire already came out. The bat is in the deck somewhere. The only thing I have that they don't have is this remodel, so I have to make it sing loudly and vivaciously. to come through here with some kind of advantage. So what I'm going to do here is turn an estate in. I consider turning the silver in for a vampire here. Maybe that's the correct thing to do. But I didn't want to do that just because the silver kind of helps out with the menagerie thing. I could have converted the estate, not the estate, the copper there as well into a candlestick maker. Again, that helps with the menagerie. There's only 5 coppers in the deck now. A bit more likely the menageries will activate. But I just settle on taking the estate out for a menagerie. And this is terrible. Again, at the bottom of the shuffle here, both the vampire and the fugitive. So that is not good at all. No idea why I kept the estate there instead of the copper. Seems wrong. Seems like I could have picked up 2 menageries here. Instead, it's going to be menagerie and candlestick maker. The vampire comes out. This may actually help him help to activate his menagerie here. I'm not sure. And well, I do get the 2 menageries anyway, but I could have just bought them and gained something else with the vampire. So what's my plan now, right? I'm in the back. My opponents are a bit more trash than me and they have more things than me. What do I do? What do I do? Well, I tell myself, look, the only thing that you can do, look, they even join with the menagerie here, man. This is too much, too much, too much to come back from. The only thing I can do, I figure, is to try to pile out very quickly. I have a small points lead right now, 3 points, which can, vanish very quickly. There's lots of cheap things you could buy on the board for points. Curses are point even, the first curse anyway. But my opponent has a quite good turn here. He plays the Disciple on the Candlestick Maker. I'm not sure that was his ideal target there, but he probably had to. He didn't have to. He could have just played the Candlestick Maker and then the Disciple, but whatever. Gains another Candlestick Maker there. He doesn't have a lot of money though, and I'm hoping to use. So what I'm thinking is, look, this Disciple is gonna get converted into a teacher. I have to win this game before that teacher comes down on the mat, and he has an opportunity to call it, because then that's just GG at that point. He'll probably put plus card on either Menagerie or Chariot Race, and that's crushing. That is 100% crushing. So I have to win the game before that, otherwise I'm just lost anyway. So I am gonna try to knock down the Candlestick Makers as quickly as possible and see where things go from there. My opponent gets a Leprechaun here. I guess he has decent control over when he could play that Leprechaun, so it's fine. Even playing it again in a Hex just for the first time for the gold is okay as well. But as for me, we're going in for this plan. Double Candlestick Maker on the 6 here. I don't really see anything else better to do here. Maybe Tracker, maybe Remodel, I don't know. 2 on 5, 7 on 2 buys, sorry, would have been Vampire Candlestick Maker, I felt anyway, but not the case here. Menagerie almost activates here, almost. But my opponent gets up to 8 here, completely kills that 3 pile idea. Shoots it down. Hey, look, Vampire helps. Thanks, Vampire. Helps trigger that Menagerie there, but that Province effectively ends the game for me here. He's 6 points ahead. I don't think I could get 6 points anywhere. I need to pick up cheap things like a Peasant, a Tracker, I don't know what else. A cheap and develop, and that's just too much money for my deck, honestly. And this teacher is coming around, so I don't really see much outs for me at this point. Things just settled at the bottom of the shuffle, I felt, and I mean, what do you want me to do for that? I can't do anything about that. There's no point even being upset about it either. No point. I mean, sure, there's probably some, inaccuracy somewhere in my play, something that I could have done a bit differently, but I mean, I didn't see it. If you see it, let me know, for real, because if I am the cause of my own demise here, I'd like to know, but felt like I just lost too much time by having, the vampire at the bottom, the fugitive at the bottom, the soldier at the bottom. I haven't seen my bat yet, either. I haven't seen my bat at all. And here my opponent reveals a disciple with his menagerie, and I know he has a candlestick maker in hand, so that is GG. Yes, 2 coin tokens on the mat. All he has to do is disciple the candlestick maker. He'll gain 1, he'll gain 2 coins, and he'll play the last one in hand for the buys and buy the last 2, but he finds a different ending here, which is also fine. So this is how game 3 ends. First game, won by WQB here. Dangerous Dave. Dangerous Dave is easier for me to say, so I'll probably refer to him by that name from now on. Alright, so the score is 2-1, and I will see you in game 4. Thanks for watching. Leprechaun didn't even come out well at the end, but it didn't have to. Alright, that's just for style. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.